Chérif Chekatt, who carried out the Strasbourg Christmas market massacre, is dead. The New York Times reports, the French police have killed the gunman they say was responsible for the deadly shooting at a crowded street market in Strasbourg, officials said Thursday, ending a huge manhunt for the fugitive in and around the city. The assailant in the deadly Strasbourg attack has been neutralized, the regional national police said in a tweet, referring to the suspect, Chérif Chekatt. Interior Minister Christophe Castanet said that around 9 p.m., 3 members of the National Police saw a suspicious individual who resembled the suspect walking along a road near the neighborhood of Neudorf, a residential area south of Strasbourg's city center. The officers tried to stop him, Mr. Castanet said, and the person turned to face them, firing a gun. They shot back and killed him. Let's discuss 3 things that should anger us about the Christmas market massacre. First, most obviously, there's the attack itself. Chekatt killed 3 people, leaving another brain dead and several more injured. He screamed Allahu Akbar as he emptied his clip, firing at men and women who were doing their Christmas shopping. He did it to impress his miserable little sex trafficker of a god who distributes virgins to his most faithful murderers, just as Muhammad distributed sex slaves to his most faithful murderers. There's plenty here to be angry about. Second, there's the ideology that fuels these attacks. According to the Quran, Surah 33, verse 21, Muhammad is the pattern of conduct for Muslims. But according to Muhammad, the greatest thing in the world is dying while waging jihad for the god of sex trafficking. Sahih al-Bukhari, 2796. The Prophet said, a single endeavor of fighting in Allah's cause in the afternoon or in the forenoon is better than all the world and whatever is in it. Sahih al-Bukhari 2797. The Prophet said, I would love to be martyred in Allah's cause and then come back to life and then get martyred and then come back to life again and then get martyred and then come back to life again and then get martyred. We should be angry that a 7th century Arabian sex trafficker convinced his followers that God is also a sex trafficker who is most pleased with his worshippers when they die while killing for him. Third, there's the culture that enables the ideology by protecting it from criticism. Believe it or not, people like Chérif Chekatt have certain good qualities. For instance, they're willing to lay down their lives for what they believe. When that character trait is combined with a noble ideology, you get a hero. When it's combined with the teachings of Muhammad, you get a jihadi. Chekatt was radicalized in prison, meaning that his fellow Muslims in prison sat him down and showed him what the god of sex trafficking really teaches. And he went out and killed for that great big pimp in the sky. Chekatt lived in a modern Western nation for 29 years. The politicians and journalists and educators and entertainers of France had a lifetime to challenge his ideology, to show him that there's no way Islam can be true. But instead of refuting his beliefs, they affirmed his beliefs. They praised his beliefs. They told him that anyone who criticizes his beliefs in any way is a racist and a bigot. The culture pumped Chekatt full of confidence until he returned the favor by pumping shoppers full of bullets. Imagine a different sort of culture. Imagine a culture where someone like Chekatt goes to prison and finds out that his prophet sucked on the tongues of little boys and ordered his followers to suck each other's fingers and bought, owned, sold, and traded black African slaves and pranced around in his child bride's nightie. Imagine a culture where the lies that Muslim apologists tell about the preservation of the Quran and the eloquence of the Quran and the scientific accuracy of the Quran were routinely exposed. Such a culture would save a lot of lives, Christian lives, Jewish lives, atheist lives, and yes, Muslim lives. Instead, Westerners remain convinced that the best thing they can do for people like Chérif Chekatt is protect their feelings from being hurt by people like me. Now Chekatt is dead, and he took several people with him. I believe that the attack could have been prevented simply by removing this protective shield our politicians and journalists and educators and entertainers have placed around all things Islamic. I believe that criticism can save lives and that it's the most peaceful way of undermining the global jihad. So, if you want to save lives, learn to criticize and, when necessary, mock the beliefs of those who want to slaughter you in the name of a cosmic sex trafficker.